Hello, I'm Thomas Janssen, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install the NISE program. Okay, now we'll install the program on our computer cluster. First, I make a new directory. Let's call it video. This is the directory where I will install the program. To install it, I will first look to find NISE here. If you find NISE 2017, you can go to this green button where you can clone the program. You press this button and it remembers the place where it should be cloned from. We type git clone and the location from which the program should be cloned. Now we're downloading the program to this cluster, and we can see here that there's a new folder made with the name NISE 2017. We can go into the folder and we see a number of directories. For today, the most important one are the most important files are this one. This is the manual. You can go in and read that. There's a README file which contains information about the program as well. You can read that README file on the web page as well. So, that is the file here. Now we want to install the program. In order to do that, we first make a new directory. We call it build, and we change into that directory. And the directory is then empty, as we can see here. And we now need to build the program. But before we do that, we have to see which modules to load. And we can do that with the command module spider, which will show us the different programs available on the cluster that can be used for this. So here we are going to, on this particular cluster, there's a module FOSS, which contain the GNU compilers, which have LAPACK support and FFTW support, and it's also supporting OpenMPI. So this is a very favorable compiler setting to use, and we can load this module. So we should module load, and then we'll use the newest version of the compilers. Now we also need the CMake program available, and we can see here there's a lot of different versions for CMake. I will just try if the newest one, module load CMake, like this, if this works. So now we have CMake available and we have the compilers available. Then we can try to compile the program. So we type CMake ... and so far things looks good, and the files have been written. So now there's a number of files here, and we see most importantly there's a make file, so we can make the program. So let's try to make the program. We just type make, and there are a few warnings that you should not worry about. We can also make the examples. Let me see, I think it's examples, yeah. We will use these examples later on many computers you can also make the documentation that does not work on this particular cluster because the LaTeX is not fully installed here, so we cannot make the actual manual. However, as I just said before, in the folder below here you can find the manual as this PDF file, and you can open it on a different computer typically than the cluster, and then you can read all the details of how to run the program. So this was how to install the program on a cluster. Okay, now I will show how to install the program on an Apple computer. First, we will make a folder again for the program, so we call that video as well. I might change it into video, and this is then an empty folder. Just as on the cluster, we can clone the program, and let me see, I will have to go to the GitHub page again, clone, and here I will clone the program. So it's again downloaded from GitHub. Okay, and of course it looks the same as on the cluster. Go into the NISE folder, and we make a build directory. We change into build. Now, on a Macintosh, you will first need to have installed the Xcode program. You can find that on the Apple Store. You also need to install the CMake program. You can do that through the Mac ports, and you have to make sure that you have a version of MPI installed, which can also be done via Mac ports. I will not show that here. I will just show how we can build the program given we have these things installed already, and we can see that the make file now has to be called with a number of options, which might depend a little bit on how you installed the different libraries. You also need to install the OMP library from MacPort. So that's the library for doing the OpenMP. So there's a lot of options here that have to be set, different flags. There's the include files for the OMP library. There's settings for compiling with OpenMP, and you need to include these settings. You can also find examples in the manual for this. So this is a bit more complicated. We will not try to see if it works. And it did work. It does say that there were two of the flags that I specified that were not used, so these you actually don't need to specify. We can now build or make the program with make, and we will see that this one's pretty easily here. We can make the examples as well, and we can make the documentation, and on the Macintosh that actually works, and we can see in the subfolder doc there is a file called NISE PDF, and you can open that in a PDF reader, and you can see the location of that file with the print working directory command here. So with this we have installed the program on an Apple machine.